Hello everyone, I'm Hemant Abhishek and you are watching Zee Business. Today we are going to settle a very old debate of whether it is wiser to buy a home or cheaper to rent one. The answer to this question depends on who you ask. Conventional school of thought values owning the makan part of roti, kapda or makan. But Excel sheet gurus will tell you that it makes more sense to live in a rented accommodation and save all the EMI money. So let's try to clear the air. We will begin by crunching the numbers and then we'll move on to the crucial scenarios that these calculations often miss. Take Noida for instance. Property search engines show that on an average, a 2-room, 1000 square foot flat in an area like Sector 137 in Noida costs around rupees 50 lakhs. Whereas one can rent a similar flat for 15,000 rupees in the same locality. So say for example, you buy the flat worth rupees 50 lakh rupees. So straight up, you pay a 20% down payment worth rupees 10 lakhs and take a loan for the remaining 40 lakhs. Now, at a prevalent 9% interest rate per annum at the popular loan tenure of 20 years, you end up paying an interest of 46 lakh 37,000 rupees on the 40 lakh principal amount. These, when added to the down payment, come up to roughly around 97 lakh rupees. If we account for property tax, maintenance and property registration charges, you would pay upwards of 1 crore rupees to own the flat that costs 50 lakh rupees. The EMI for this loan would be approximately 36,000 rupees per month. On the other hand, if you rented a similar 2 BHK flat in the same locality, you would get it for a rent of 15,000 rupees per month, which would add up to 1,80,000 rupees for the first year. And with the rent increasing 10% annually, at the end of 20 years, you would have paid upwards of 1 crore 4 lakh rupees in total as rent. So, in comparison, if you rented the property, you would have paid lower monthly rent initially. But after a point, your monthly rent becomes more than the EMIs. And at the end of 20 years, you end up paying the equivalent of what it would cost you if you bought the flat by taking a home loan in the first place. But instead, you paid all that and yet remained homeless. Or is that so? What this calculation misses is the rupees 10 lakh down payment amount, which one doesn't have to pay while renting the flat. These 10 lakh rupees, if invested in mutual funds at a conservative 10% annual return rate, would yield about 67 lakh rupees at the end of 20 years. Although this is a handsome amount, if you take the rate of appreciation of property and inflation into account, it will most likely not be enough if you wish to buy a similar flat 20 years down the line. So, we return to the same question. Which is better, renting or buying? Now, the answer depends totally on your requirements. Renting makes sense as more and more industries are warming up to the idea of working from home. The younger workforce can choose to work from a new location every month and not be limited to one place. They can also opt to rent an accommodation closer to their workplace and save on time and cost of commuting. However, nothing beats the security of owning a home. Even for investment purposes, real estate is considered as a safe bet. And last but not the least, owning your own home saves you from the headache of packing and moving your valuables and house hunting for a rented accommodation every few months. And it also saves you from having to deal with pesky landlords. Thank you.